I'm Amy Wegman. Here's a look at some of the stories we're following today. Looking ahead to next hurricane season already in Collier County, leaders declaring a public emergency that will allow them to create a sand barrier along their shorelines. We first told you about this story yesterday. Collier County leaders approved a large chunk of money. It was just under $200,000, and that will go toward berm revitalization. There's been a company named to handle the project, but the plan to get it done is still in the works, the design, if you will. It's a race against time. We've got details on how county leaders plan to get it all finished before the deadline on fox4now.com. Not one, but two shooting investigations in Fort Myers today. Fox 4 has been live on the scene of one of them near Palm Beach Boulevard. The other one happened early this morning near Veronica Shoemaker Boulevard, and that shooting, police say, left one person dead. We are tracking both of these active investigations online for you right now. Florida shorelines took a beating from two hurricanes this year. Ian, of course, was the bigger and the stronger storm. And now the race is on to place vital natural protections along Florida shorelines to make it more difficult for storm surge and flood levels to reach homes. Is it going to cost a lot of money? Yes. And not everywhere is going to be spared in the future. The full report available when you go to fox4now.com. Andrew?
And tonight we are tracking scattered showers and thunderstorms expected through the overnight hours for you temperature-wise, getting down to about 68 degrees. So definitely a mild night. Let's time out those showers and storms. So here's 10 o'clock tonight. Already looking at that moving on in. This is the first push of two cold fronts moving on through. And this is going to bring in some strong showers and thunderstorms through the overnight hours. Here's 3 o'clock in the morning as that first front pushes on through. Should be quiet, though, just in time for the morning commute. And then we're kind of in that lull before that next Arctic front comes on through, and that's going to bring in a few showers, nothing quite like we see tonight, but that's going to bring in the majority of that cold air. So overnight tonight could see upwards of an inch or more along those showers and thunderstorms, and then all eyes will switch to the temperature. So waking up tomorrow morning into the 60s, climbing into the mid-70s there by 11 o'clock. Now into the afternoon, cold front moves through back into the 60s there by the 4 o'clock hour and continue to fall from there, waking up Saturday morning with temperatures in the 30s. So yes, definitely a big cool down on the way. Also going to be watching the wind for us, as we are going to be seeing breezy thunderstorms tonight, but the actual cold front, that Arctic front tomorrow, will bring gusts upwards of about 30 miles an hour along the front, and then continue to see gusts into the afternoon upwards of about 20-25 miles an hour. So that means we need to watch our wind chills. So won't notice it as much tomorrow afternoon, but tomorrow night, as we continue to cool those temperatures down, feels like temperatures in the 30s and 40s by 10 o'clock, and then waking up Saturday morning with feels like temperatures in the 20s. So yes, much colder air is on the way for us for the weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. Sunday, you got a little bit more clouds around, but still 50-degree temperatures, 30s overnight, and then we'll slowly warm things back up into the 60s by Tuesday, and then upper 70s by Thursday.
Well, hurricane season isn't until June 1st, but if Collier County wants to start protecting their beaches, and more specifically the shoreline and the communities that live here, and they want the state to help pay for it, county leaders tell me they only have about 3 months to get the job done.
We are sprinting.
On a day where visibility on Collier County beaches isn't the best.
You want to do what you can to protect you from the future storms.
County leaders say to see a more resilient future against hurricanes, they have to work quickly.
Per FEMA guidelines, we are to be complete with the project. The berm needs to be in place by the end of March.
That rapidly approaching deadline for reimbursement of the berms, which is basically an elevated sand mound, is why earlier last week, Collier County commissioners approved a public emergency that gave Trinity Scott, the county's head of transportation management, the green light to hire a design team to get started on the project.
We'll be looking for all the way from Marco Island all the way to the northern parts of the beaches.
Connie Dean, Collier County's community coordinator, was unable to find someone to speak with me on camera about what the sand berms will look like, but tells me once the work order is processed, they expect staff to take about 4 weeks to complete the design. An idea for beachgoers like John.
I think it's a good idea. You know, these people have multi-million-dollar homes. They want to protect them.
An idea with a FEMA deadline, which means for Scott, work on the beaches need to start next month.
End of January, we are outputting sand on those beaches, which would give us about 2 months to get this completed.
Reporting in Collier County, Colton Chavez, Fox 4.
The shooting has left one person dead and another person injured with non-life-threatening injuries. The Fort Myers Police Department got a search warrant to search this home here on Veronica S. Shoemaker. The police department says a person of interest has been detained. We were here when police handcuffed him. They were questioning him for a while and then walked him to the back of a police car. Police say the shooting is an isolated incident and it is not a threat to the community. However, I did speak to some neighbors who tell me it's just unfortunate that this is happening at a time when it's supposed to be the happiest time of the year. In Fort Myers, Alexandra Rangel, Fox 4.
Temperatures drop below zero in 18 states Thursday, and 3/4 of the country is projected to drop below freezing on Friday. It's part of a winter storm that's creating trouble for holiday travelers. More than 1,700 flights were canceled Thursday alone.
We're advising residents to remain home and not travel unless it's absolutely necessary. These conditions are unreal.
The National Weather Service has called this a once-in-a-generation storm. Cities like Houston, Chicago, and Washington, D.C. are forecast to have their coldest Christmas in decades. And it will come at a price. The average cost for home heating is up about 17% compared to last year. Thursday, the Senate passed a nearly $1.7 trillion bill to fund the government through September. It must clear the House by Friday to avoid a government shutdown.
A lot of ups and downs, but at the end, a great result that really helped the American people.
The far-reaching budget includes more than $850 billion in military spending, $5 billion for home heating assistance, and about $20 billion in funding for child care programs. But critics on the right said the 4,000-page bill is bloated and that it's not fair to vote 2 days after the bill was published.
The voters overwhelmingly said that the biggest issue to them was inflation. But apparently this body did not get the message from the voters.
Democrats have enough votes to advance the budget in the House, but it is one of the last bills they'll be able to push through with that advantage, since a Republican House majority will take office in January. The former founder of FTX will be released from jail on bond. Sam Bankman-Fried agreed to a $250 million bond Thursday. He'll live with his parents in California while the legal process unfolds. Bankman-Fried faces several fraud charges for his role in the collapse of FTX. He's personally accused of siphoning large sums of money from the company. FTX was once worth billions, but is currently going through bankruptcy proceedings and won't let customers withdraw their money.
Tucked away in Tucson, Arizona, migrants seeking guidance find a warm welcome.
Start expecting people coming at any hour during the day.
The number of migrants arriving varies by day, and they come from around the world.
It's 10 a.m. About how many people have been dropped off?
I think we've had at least one bus of people coming in so far.
Many we spoke with here come from Cuba and Peru.
We'll have the water for them after the testing and some food.
Diego Piña Lopez is the Casalitas Associate Director. The nonprofit works with migrants.
It's absolutely free. Everybody can get one of anything.
Lopez says they've seen a growing demand since the pandemic, adding that over the last few months they've beefed up staff and outreach as they brace for an influx in migrants seeking assistance.
Toothpaste, toothbrush, comb, deodorant, and soap. And everybody at least gets a chance to sort of freshen up with these.
Preparations for the expiration of Title 42, which was temporarily paused by the U.S. Supreme Court less than 72 hours before it was set to be lifted. The Trump-era health policy has been used to expel more than 2.5 million migrants since it went into effect in March of 2020.
Now it's very, very few of those people that really need to come for asylum having that opportunity to come.
He says the latest ruling by the High Court only added to the confusion, leaving nonprofits ready to help in limbo.
Another jerk in a direction of everyone was expecting Title 42 to go away.
He says migrants who heard the pandemic-era policy was set to expire likely started their journey to the U.S. and may now be forced to wait in Mexico, putting them in danger.
Kidnapping, no shelter, nowhere to eat, no food, no clean clothes, and far, far worse situations that come through.
Some migrants here met the exception of Title 42.
Make sure that they're provided food, clothing, a shelter, a safe space, a place to laugh, space to cry and to just feel human and have a choice again.
While some nonprofits say they're ready, state government officials disagree. Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich and Arizona Democratic Senator Mark Kelly oppose lifting Title 42. Kelly says they need a proper plan in place. In the meantime, this nonprofit says they'll continue working to keep migrants informed and help them reach their destinations.
About 90% of our families go by flight. Many go by bus as well.
Congress is putting the final touches today on a massive $1.7 trillion budget. Why does it matter? Well, it funds the government through September. It provides $45 billion for Ukraine, which President Zelensky expressed appreciation for Wednesday in Washington. It attempts to prevent another January 6th attack by clarifying the role Congress plays when it comes to certifying the Electoral College. The legislation even bans federal employees from using TikTok on government-owned devices, all while providing $40 billion to support recovery efforts from natural disasters like Hurricane Ian. But this budget doesn't go as far as some on Capitol Hill would like. Many policy ideas have been left out, and it may be years before they get debated again. Budget watchers say the first biggest loser is the marijuana industry. Those working or using cannabis in states where it's legal were hoping that a House and a Senate controlled by Democrats would enact more reforms. The budget being passed does no such thing. In fact, even marijuana banking reforms that would have allowed dispensaries better access to banking systems didn't make it into the final bill. Biggest loser number 2, immigration advocates. We have been following for months the push to pass some sort of immigration reform that would provide legal protection to DACA recipients. Marches on Capitol Hill a few weeks ago were taking place as lawmakers met behind the scenes to try and strike a deal. That never materialized. As a result, those immigrants who came to the U.S. illegally as children will remain in a state of limbo as legal challenges to their immigration status continue. Biggest loser number 3, refugees from Afghanistan. It has been nearly a year and a half since the withdrawal from that country when thousands of Afghan refugees were resettled here. The Afghan Adjustment Act would have granted a path to legal permanent residency, but it failed to be included in this budget. Without action soon, many Afghans face the risk of deportation. And biggest loser number 4, the expanded child tax credit. There was a push to bring back the 2021 benefit, which deposited monthly checks into qualifying parents' bank accounts. Ultimately, though, the program was deemed too controversial to be included in this must-pass budget. All of these programs now will still be debated in the new Congress come January, but with Republicans taking over the House and Democrats controlling the Senate, more gridlock is expected. In Washington, I'm Joe St. George.
For nearly a year now, we've had protections in place around surprise medical bills. The No Surprises Act that took effect January 1st has been shielding patients from getting hit with bills when they unknowingly get out-of-network care. But a big thing that hasn't been included is ground ambulances.
You call 911 and that ambulance that's going to respond is selected by the dispatcher. You're not checking a network directory. You're not double checking before you get in that ambulance to know whether they're in your insurance plan.
A new report from U.S. PIRG looks at the cost of this. It found half of ambulance rides by insured patients are ending with a surprise bill. That cost can be $450 more than the typical in-network price and up to $1,000 per trip.
We need to get more data. We need to understand really what are the costs of ambulance transportation, and then we need to make sure that we're paying reasonable fees that keep these ambulance services working well in our communities, but also that a small subset of patients who need emergency transportation aren't paying the cost for everyone.
10 states, including Colorado, Florida, New York, and Ohio, have added their own protections around surprise ambulance bills. But U.S. PIRG found insurance plans you get through work are often excluded. At its first meeting next month, a new federal committee is expected to take up the issue of surprise billing for ground ambulances and ways to prevent it in the future.
The U.S. economy grew faster than we thought in the third quarter. GDP grew at an annual rate of 3.2%, according to updated Commerce Department data. Government leaders originally thought GDP grew at 2.9%. The change is due to stronger than expected consumer spending, a sign that personal finances are resilient, even in the face of higher interest rates. This weighted blanket is under recall after being linked to the death of 2 children. The Pillow Fort weighted blankets were made for kids and sold exclusively at Target. But kids can become trapped in the blanket's cover, creating the risk of death by asphyxiation. Target says if you have one, you should return it for a full refund. CarMax is the latest business hit by the so-called used vehicle recession. The company said Thursday that its third quarter profit was down 86% this year. The used vehicle market may have peaked in 2021 when a shortage of new vehicles pushed many buyers into the pre-owned market. This year is a different story. CarMax leaders said with people dealing with inflation and high interest rates, they're less interested in spending on big-ticket items.
I'm meteorologist Andrew Shipley, and we are looking at mostly cloudy skies out there this evening. That's going to continue through the overnight hours. We're also going to be tracking scattered showers and thunderstorms moving in through the overnight. Let's time that out for you here as we work our way until about 3 o'clock in the morning. That's the first front that we're watching of 2. This is just the cold front, and then the Arctic front's not going to come in until the afternoon hours there on Friday, and that's going to bring us another chance of some showers up along that front. But once that passes on through, that's when we do expect that to dive in our temperatures. So tomorrow morning, waking up in the 60s, then climbing up into the upper 70s by the 11 o'clock hour. But watch what happens to the afternoon, down into the 60s, and we're going to continue to fall into the 40s and 50s by 9 o'clock, and then waking up in the 30s on Saturday morning. And we are expecting temperatures to be overall cool this weekend, 52 on Saturday, and then Christmas Day only a high of 50, though mostly cloudy skies in the forecast.
We're going to start bringing people back. Come on in.
Looking for a suit so he could wear this with the jacket.
We take their measurements. I'm going to have you try this on. You know, we get as close as we can to the sizing.
Look back up for me. The relationship with a tailor and their client is, I mean, it's like a psychiatrist. It's like a barber, you know, any of those things, which I love.
And then you can't forget about the tie. You can't forget about it.
We are at Sharp Dressed Man in Baltimore, and I am the founder of this organization.
I'm waiting to put the suit on so I can see how it looks.
Got the suit, perfect. The tie, the shirt, pocket square.
I didn't even know y'all was gonna give us one of these. This is nice.
We recycle suits to dress guys for job interviews, people that are trying to get back up on their feet.
I brought 2 men down here today to try to go through the same process that I went through 10 years ago.
Yeah, Mr. Jones brought us down here so we can get our suits today.
To explain what it's like for the guys who walk in the door, you kind of got to understand who they are and where they're coming from.
Primarily men that are returning to the workforce from incarceration. They're in reentry programs, workforce programs.
30 years. I went in as a teenager, 17, and came out at 47.
22 years.
That's a lot of time to be away from society. And just to get back acclimated to society is a little bit frightening.
That's why I'm here now, to try to get this suit so when I go in this interview, I can get a job. So I could better myself.
Bring them colors out.
The idea of thinking about what someone's going to wear for a job interview was an afterthought to most places. And it might be one of the most important things for a job interview is what you wear when you go in there.
Every Wednesday, the guys can get a cut and shave while they wait.
Suit, 2 jackets, 2 pairs of shoes.
Nice.
4 shirts.
Really?
Yeah, I hit the lottery. Good to go.
And then they get fitted for their suit.
And that's the idea, is that you're coming in, you're getting your shopping, but it's all free.
Yes, it's a big thing. Yes, it is. This my first suit ever.
Did you have a preference for color or pattern? We're giving these individuals options, choices, you know, where they may not have previously had a lot of options or choices, or even the opportunity to wear a suit.
Relax your shoulders for me. Yeah, see, I can always tell.
Everyone needs a suit. Just the feeling of being accepted, belonging.
Always button this.
And this suits helps you do that.
Fit me perfect, right?
This place really comes alive when everyone is in here. They see each other getting suited up.
Pop this with that.
I just let them go and just take it in.
Yeah, that's the one right here.
This the one?
Yeah. You know, especially if you've been incarcerated a long time, you've had a lot of time to think about what that could look like.
Great need for it. I'm a living example of it. They gave me the first suit when I came home. That suit landed me the job, and now I'm in a position where I can give suits back.
Feel good, man.
I'm proud of him. He's a hard worker. He deserves all this.
Thank you. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
I believe that what we're doing here is something that I'd like to see us being doing all over the world.
I feel like a new man.
The suit can wear out and get torn up and be gone. But we want to create something that will last forever, and that's what Sharp Dressed Man is doing.
Thanks for coming, you sharp dressed man, you.
It's creating that atmosphere and that mindset that they can carry on to different things, whether they have the suit on or not.
This time of year, we're always rushing to get gifts, to travel home to see family, to finish up work before the holidays. But the family you're about to meet is a good reminder to us all to pause for just a second and take in the good that's happening all around us. Oh, good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
You're quick to the door.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm achieving excellence.
I'll give you a hug.
Okay.
How are you?
I am.
To spend a morning with the Stallman family. Let's get a coffee.
Let's do that. There's that.
Oh, thank you. Is to spend a morning in a place you immediately feel at home.
I think we have a winner.
It's pretty cool.
They left most of the personality intact, which some feel was a missed opportunity.
We were met with laughter and giggles.
My name is Matt.
And moments of slight chaos.
Peter, I think you've got a replacement. I might be worried if I were you.
But it's welcome light and love.
Can you say action?
And action.
For a family who has experienced deep pain. Kelly and Bruce Stallman had 3 sons.
My daddy was one of them.
Their twins both lived with physical and mental challenges.
We had 2 kids in power chairs, 2 with feeding tubes, 1 trach vent, 1 with a speech computer.
Mark and Eric passed just 1 year apart in 2014 and 2015.
No parent should bury their kids. Losing children is, I don't think anything's tougher than that.
As their grieving hearts began to heal, along came another hurdle in 2018.
He kept falling asleep at weird places. And
they weren't weird, they were comfortable.
At my birthday dinner, he fell asleep at the table in a restaurant.
Bruce was tired, had bad headaches and balance issues. When the symptoms wouldn't stop, they went to the hospital for an MRI.
An hour afterwards, the attending physician comes in and says, "You have a large mass in your head. We're admitting you to the ICU."
Stage 4 glioblastoma.
This is one of the most aggressive cancers on the planet. Very fast and very wicked.
Bruce was given months to live. That was 4 years ago.
It's a challenge, but it's also an opportunity. And what can you do with what you're given?
He's been through surgery and aggressive radiation. And with help from this device called the Optune, Bruce is defying his diagnosis. It sends microwaves into his brain to stop cancer cells from forming a new tumor. And it's working.
It's 100% about gratitude. I'm grateful for every extra day.
We'd always told Eric, after Mark passed, live life fully until you don't. And he flipped a switch. I'm going to live life fully until I don't.
Hi.
And as we all approach a new season of life, a new year.
First pitch at the Rockies game.
Bruce hopes we'll take a page from his playbook, one he's choosing to keep writing.
No matter how much time there is, that there is joy for how much time there is.
Yes. And so why waste your time?
And choosing the good will look different for us all.
You can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf.
I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
But in this house,
I don't know the second verse.
Yeah. It's a Christmas carol. It's one more day to be silly, to hug, to live.
And that's the end. The end. Cut. The end.
In Denver, I'm Alexa Liacco.